Welcome to Instant Discussions, episode 45, probably.
We don't know.
Most likely.
Whatever. Oh, shit. 7 more.
Oh, shit. 7. Wait.
Till the year.
Oh, yeah, till the year.
I
No.
think you meant till syndication.
Yay! Syndication! It's never going to happen. All right.
Jesus.
Today we will be discussing Donnie Darko, cult favorite hit, Donnie Darko.
Especially with all the emo kids.
That's a terrible description of it. It's not a.
I read the Netflix description, like, post watching it, and I was like, oh, God.
No, I love the Netflix description of it, which is the troubled kid dealing with all this stuff and a bunny.
Yeah. Fucking psychotic, but okay. Sure. Why not?
Okay, yeah, Donnie Darko movie about time travel and mental illness and being a teen in school.
Yeah.
And
Child porn.
And yeah, so that's
Parenting.
what parenting, being a teacher in a
parenting.
private
God
school, and being a private schools in general. It's about that, and it's a period piece. Takes place in 1988. Go 1988.
Just one of my girlfriend.
I love when it starts off. And he's like, suck my fuck or whatever. It's like,
How exactly does one?
Suck a fuck.
I
I really want you to explain.
The little daughter.
Yeah.
What's a suck? What's a? No, it's a. I can't remember what she said. What she was remembering. All right, this is an interesting movie because the
What's a fuck ass?
what's a fuck ass? That's the one. So yeah, trying to summarize the plot of the movie quickly. Donnie Darko is a kid. He's at school and a jet engine from a plane falls in his room while he's out sleepwalking and talking to this crazy bunny called named Frank.
Yeah.
So
Should
kind
we
of
get
like
into the details of who he? I guess.
no. I mean,
Yeah.
so it's bunny named Frank.
All right.
All right. So they're kind of dealing with that, but they
This
don't
is
know.
not something you should watch if you haven't seen the film. Okay,
No.
just putting that out there.
But if you
Yeah.
really want to,
This is
if
one
you
of
really
those-
want to,
I know,
I'm
I know.
explaining it for them.
I
you
like
know.
to say on certain films.
You're an
because-
idiot if you click on discussion things. If
Yeah.
you haven't
you
seen,
don't
don't
think
want
you have to
come on.
explain it, yeah.
I'm done with the damn spoiler alerts. All right. Yeah, but there's people out there that don't have time. They just want to spend 15 minutes and listen to this.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, whatever.
Maybe.
Whatever.
All right. Plane engine falls. They're kind of dealing with that. They don't know where the plane engine came from.
Yeah, there wasn't even like a plane. And
There's the buddy's telling him to do things like destroy stuff,
burn a house down.
burn a house down, and break the water main, which also comes from the short story that the teacher was telling.
Yeah.
He starts looking into time travel because the bunny tells him about time travel and old Grandma Death. Happened to have written a book.
That's
It's a horrible thing to call her. She had written this book about that.
Cellar door.
Cellar door. He finds it, and he eventually gets to the time, and it turns out in the end that the jet engine came from the plane that his mom and his daughter and his sister are in.
It
and that
travels
flew
back
out.
in time.
Do like a wormhole
Yeah,
type
the
thing.
Frank was a guy who accidentally ran over his girlfriend, or Donnie's girlfriend.
Yeah.
And so Donnie, in retaliation, had the gun that his path had led him to, shot Frank in the eye, which is why he had the messed up eye beforehand in there, and
Evil Dead.
then realized that he goes back to his bed where the jet engine is going to fall so that it kills him as it was supposed to, or it does so that all of these lives don't get ruined.
Yeah,
because
so he
of
saves the
He saves lives.
He doesn't go back in time.
No. He gets through the wormhole of the thing.
It's a big myth. He does, but he doesn't.
Alright.
He totally doesn't. I read an argument.
There's all.
I'll talk about
Oh, wow,
Okay.
you looked into this.
All right.
No, I looked into it because there is. I'll just.
Okay. All right. So that's basically what happens. Is all a bunch of craziness.
Yeah.
This took on a big cult following after it was made.
Huge because of how. That's how I ended up learning about it. I forgot who it was, but somebody was like,
This is the one that people pass on here. Like, have you seen Donnie Darko? Have you seen this movie? Now, hardly anyone saw this in theaters. It was a budget of 4.5 million, made 7 million in the box office.
At least it profited.
It profited, but the thing is, it's made most of its money afterwards. DVD sales, DVD sales, all of that. It's definitely gotten big after that. There was a spin-off sequel, but
that was horrible.
I've never watched it.
Horse shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This doesn't seem like one of those movies where you want to make a sequel to.
It's like, did you see American Psycho 2?
Well, the thing is, that's exactly the same.
What do you think?
Why would we watch that?
No, but American Psycho's actually, it's not like, anyway.
But it's the thing of, the thing is they make these sequels to these cult films, and it's usually made by someone else.
Yeah.
Now, if Richard Kelly had worked on it for some reason and done it, then maybe you could have had something
I think
out
this
of
is
it.
the only one, like,
you can't really do
it has
that.
to be just by itself.
It does have to be just by itself. But it's the thing.
Shock Treatment's one of the few films that I think is actually better than.
But and again, it's made by the same people, so you still get that same spirit in it. So yes, this was picked by you. Mm-hmm. So why don't you start us off with what do you really love about this movie?
Yeah.
Well, I can go real quick, but the one thing I don't like was Drew Barrymore.
We were going for good first.
But while I'm here,
we're always Drew Barrymore's not going anywhere. She's still there.
Keep
Tony, you don't think you're so negative. Don't focus on the negatives here. We're trying to be positive. Gotta be positive.
You know what? And I honestly,
don't be a negative.
I'm not quite sure why.
Why are
I
you
enjoy
so
this
caught up by
movie
your
so
fear?
much.
You gotta stay on.
Show with your love.
Look, we can put this. We can write this out here.
Yeah, let's go.
This is empty. It's fine.
But it's just not that cut. You know, it's not that black and white.
Yes, it is.
No.
Everything
can fit in love.
Shut up. Okay, shut up.
Shut up. It's either.
Oh, by the way, is that the that girl? That's the sister from the Kid from Up, I think. the shut up girl?
All right, it's either fear or love. Just place it. Now, where would you place?
Fear.
Yeah, where do you place?
Why don't you shove this book up your ass?
Oh, okay. Principal's office.
I was gonna ask where you place this movie.
So what I like, I don't know. I like the character. He's just interesting. He's like dark, and I just like every little, I guess, side thing that he does.
Did you find any of you in him when you're watching that? Did you relate to his character in that way?
You know, one of the reasons I probably liked it is around the time that I watched it, I was kind of just getting out of like being depressed and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I associated with him, I guess.
It's one of those things that so many people go through, that depression, especially in high school, or even in middle school. It's a common thing that it's so insular. It's such a personal thing that you don't always feel that everyone else is going through the same thing. So you can feel very isolated in that. And I think that's one thing that made this movie so popular as well, because it really gets into that, and it's not showing it in such a way of, look at this troubled person, we need to fix him in this way, but he's dealing it on his own, and although he gets very destructive in it,
but everything
he figures it out.
Like when I'm watching it, I'm like, oh my god, I totally just wanted to, break into the school and tear up a pipe. Like, I can understand everything that he does, burning down houses, things like that. Yeah.
The reason for its small release.
I did not know that. I did not realize that.
Yeah, it was.
That's why I didn't see it in theaters.
Yeah, it was in Roman. It had a limited release run the month after the September 11th attacks. So then it was held back for almost a year before it got its international releases. So
I was curious. I was just trying to look up how it did internationally, because I didn't,
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's still relatable for everyone else.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever. Oh, I gotta see the director's cut. Oh, I haven't seen that.
I have it right there. Yeah, I had only seen the director's cut beforehand. Now, I think it's just mostly stuff in the beginning that's different. And I can't remember the differences.
There's extras in there stuff too, right? There's extra stuff.
Oh yeah, there's good extras in it. This was at a time too
I think we're getting
into the deeper ones. All right, let's get.
And I like the characters.
Okay. Back on track.
I liked it. I was like, I can see this dad. I can see this mother. The sister, like, you can see a sister who just wants to like get a rise out of people right away. I'm waiting for Dukakis. Like all the characters.
Well, yeah,
like, I can.
So part of
it's,
I'm sure she believes in some of Dukakis' philosophy.
Yeah,
but
also
it's just going against the dad. They're some pretty cool parents though.
He laughs when.
I think they're pretty cool. They're struggling with it.
They're struggling, but they're still.
Yeah,
they could be worse.
Yeah, they could be worse. But
those parents are awesome. Actually,
yeah, they were pretty cool compared to a lot of the other.
They're actually supporting their fucking kids, like.
Especially I had gone to private school as well. I relate a lot to the craziness of the faculty there.
Mm-hmm.
They're freaking insane, and especially going after the guy who had his whole philosophy about attitudism.
Oh god.
Which is all a front for his child
that
porn
was,
ring.
and that thing was such a good, like, it looked like a
It
real.
looked exactly like one of those videos. Like, you watched it.
Did you notice? I noticed this time when he's talking to the kid. He's like, "All right, buddy," and he spanks him on the butt. I didn't notice that
I didn't
before.
notice it this time, but
He spanks the little kid's ass, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
I didn't see that.
I did notice the boom mic going into the shot.
Yeah,
The
man,
one,
I
noticed that, yeah.
which is kind of silly because it was the end of a thing. Like they could have cut that one, but
But yeah, he's everything like I kind of wanted to do in high school. When he gets up and he's like, "How much are they paying you?
Yeah.
Are you really gonna feed this shit to you?" Like, tell her stop eating Twinkies.
he was so smart on that. Like that's such a good guy. I like that. The shut up girl. That she had a crush on
Yeah.
Donnie at like
because he did
that.
like he was kind of standing up for her. It's not like, "Hey, stop it." It's like, "Yeah, leave her alone."
He was.
Yeah.
He was just a real person. He wasn't mean to her because he's not mean to anyone
He has
for
no
no
reason to
reason.
be mean to
Yeah,
her,
he's a really good guy, but he's fighting against the bullshit that everyone is putting
Yeah.
forth. That guy he burned down the house of that horrible the guy who is the Antichrist. He's a terrible guy. He turned out to be a worse guy than he even knew. But
Yeah.
already he wouldn't stand for that. And the school that had all of its bullshit there, and so he's fighting against things for a reason. It's not just reckless destruction.
He wasn't necessarily going out there to help people, but he was going out there and destroying things that were being like the opposite. It's like people that thought they were helping, but it's really you're just making everything so much worse for these
it's the same.
they're never gonna deal with
and that's the problem of being released after September 11th too. Is it's the idea of freedom fighting versus terrorism. It's depending on the view that you're looking at it of what you are. But he's so
one thing real quick I like is that
God damn it.
that they just kind of
bullshit.
hinted really quick about his intelligence. They didn't like go overboard. It was like his
they
Iowa
saw
test
on the
scores.
test scores.
Yeah, and you were like, it was higher than
It's
he's ever seen.
intimidating.
Yeah, and I was like, and they don't like push it. It's just like, okay, we just know real quick he's really really smart, and then see how fucked up he is.
Yeah, that's how you can get into and understanding all of this time travel stuff in there.
Yeah.
All right, so things you love about this movie that before we get to the crazy in depth, because already getting into this stuff.
The complexity.
Yeah, I love the complexity of it.
Number one, like, bang.
It's not straightforward.
Not at all. Like, oh my god, yeah.
It's one that makes you want to watch it again.
Yeah,
Shut up, we're not a different episode.
Oh, okay.
It gets better. It gets better every time you watch it.
Yeah, you have to watch it again. You're like, oh, I get this part now, and you can tie those together.
I love movies like that.
Yeah, it's great. It's like watching Primer again. All right, so worst parts about this movie, Drew Barrymore.
I did not like her at all. Like they could have gotten somebody so
I think I
much
liked her.
better.
I liked her better. Well, she produced the movie, so
Did she really?
She was one of the producers on the executive.
That's why she had that role.
She helped find it. Yeah, that's probably why she got the role. But it
she didn't.
She's
sell,
hit and miss with me.
She didn't sell
movies.
Teacher to me though.
I think she did though. I don't know if it doesn't list her on there. Executive producer.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on in the movie. It popped up. And reminded me of it, but I think when I first saw her in this movie this time, because I can't remember the first time watching it, I wasn't really sold on her at first, but then I was watching it somewhere. I really did believe her character in that, and I really liked it. Especially the character of it is standing up against the rest of the school. She's still trying to teach within the confines of the private school and what they're doing, but when they're starting to blame the book on it, it's like, it's that book, that's why it caused this, and it's the same thing of the blaming anything else like media or violent video games or music. It's like, no, it's the individual who is responding to it in that way. It's it's on their end. It's not the book that's promoting that. It does happen to be that it was the same things that were in the book, but that's where he gets the ideas from it. But
so like the Bible.
Yeah, exactly. You can get that from any source.
I don't think I could see why you might say that, Tony. About Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, I can see it
because she is like, she doesn't change like.
Yeah.
No.
Her role.
Awfully much.
She's a little different
character.
we just watched Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. She's a different character than she was in that.
Yeah. In that movie, she's
not as bubbly and she is more subdued.
I think it's the way she talks and her physical mannerisms.
It is. Those don't change too much in the way that her voice is. She's not really a chameleon as much. but
Like the character that if there was somebody else,
She doesn't go full retard.
no, she
That's
doesn't.
really what we're trying to say here, right?
Yeah.
You never go full.
Sometimes you do.
You always go full retard.
You never go ask them out.
So, anything you didn't like about the movie? Was an issue for you in this one?
I'm trying to remember my first viewing.
Yeah.
You go ahead and go first.
Well, no, I mean, this is the thing. When I first saw this movie, I saw the director's cut because it was at a time where I was really
Is there a lot different?
I can't remember. It's been so long now.
You said
I don't
it
think
was
it's too much.
mainly the
I don't think
beginning.
it's too much different. There's little things here and there, and I think it could make it different for the way that you learn certain information and how much information you get about it.
Yeah.
I've heard from some people that complain that it was too explanatory in the director's cut. Maybe I don't remember exactly.
That would get annoying if it was.
Pulling a
Maybe, but
voiceover
only a
in
little
Blade
bit.
Runner.
Not yeah. It wasn't that crazy.
Okay.
Oh, you know one thing that I like too, real quick, is like in some movies when they have this type of ending where everything comes together, it's kind of like you can see it like, okay, he did this because of this. But when everything came together, I was like,
there were so
okay.
many small things and random things that were the
They
cause
seemed even like random.
that spread off because of that initial incident.
Yeah, they weren't too obvious like some movies do.
Yeah, you can kind of pull everything together. But I don't think there's anything that I really didn't like about this movie now thinking back on it. As it was first starting out, I was thinking, as rewatching it again this time, it didn't seem as strong to me. It didn't catch me as much for some reason, but as it went on, it definitely...
I think would have been, and I'm thinking back to my first viewing, and I think it was that if it was anything, it might be a little slow start.
Yeah.
I think it's just slow.
But not too much. I mean, once you start meeting Frank and getting into that stuff.
Yeah, and that's when it gets interesting and it really hooks you in, but it wasn't
the
until
language
then.
at the beginning
It's
of
just
the
a
dinner
little
table,
slow.
yeah, like that, like there's a lot of good stuff.
And especially like me, like I was saying, like just kind of understanding like him being depressed and all that crap.
Yeah.
So right away I was hooked. I was gonna say, and I had forgotten, or I don't even know if I noticed the first time, a young what's his name, Seth
Rogen.
Seth Rogen. I was like, wait a second, that's Seth Rogen.
Yeah. So that
Just
solid.
like watching Anchorman. Oh, Seth Rogen.
He just pops up everywhere.
Oh my god.
So ratings for this movie.
He's the cameraman for Applegate.
Oh my god.
Since we don't have any bad things to say about it except for it's on Drew Barrymore. Ratings for this movie. Now I went back to, again, this is the rating that I gave it when Netflix first came out.
Yeah.
I gave it 5 stars, and for some reason I looked at it and I saw the 5 stars, and then I went and watched the movie, and I thought that I'd given it 4 stars because by the end of the movie I was thinking, wow, I'd give this 5 stars instead. I really love this movie, and I forgot how much I love this movie. So it definitely is solid 5 stars for me. This is it's beautiful stuff. I can connect to it. It's thinking. It's not a simple movie.
Yeah.
Really good stuff.
I'm the same. It's 5 stars.
5 stars.
And I have an interesting story to tell. So
Let's all
when
sit back and
I
listen.
first watched this film, I was a lot younger.
Mhm.
I probably watched it maybe a year or 2 after it came out.
Mhm.
So I was in high school, like ladder of high school, and I didn't like the film at all. It's very and it's very interesting that I didn't. And
Yeah.
I think what might have happened was I was in the beginning. It was slow to start. I got maybe kind of bored. I was tuning it out a little bit, and then I kind of got lost in it afterward,
Yeah.
and then I couldn't catch up.
Yeah.
And then so
If
for
you
me,
start not paying attention to it, it's gonna
yeah.
throw you off really quickly.
So that's what happened. I think that was just what happened in my first viewing because I'm looking on Netflix now, and as I remembered it, I had a 2-star rating.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now watching it again, I'm giving it I'm like, holy crap! And I did research into it and everything, and now I'm all like, holy shit! Okay, and this is and now I'm giving it a 5.
Nice. 2 out of 5. That's a good increase there.
Yeah, it just goes to showing you.
Yeah. So pay attention to movies if you're watching them. Especially with a great movie like this,
So our second.
We all agree 5 stars.
Just an in-betweeners, yeah.
Yep. No, I think you're talking about Primer. Yeah, that's it.
There Will Be Blood, that last episode.
And the artist. The artist, I think we all agreed on all of these ones. All right, well, thank you for watching this one. Next week, let's see, I can't remember how I was getting on this film. When we were looking into the other films of Jim Carrey, way back when with...
when we were doing Eternal Sunshine?
Eternal Sunshine. It was a film that had come up on the list there, and with some other creative people on it. Plus, this one ends in an REM song, a cover. So it's another REM tied-in movie that has an REM song close to it.
Shiny Happy People.
Yeah, Shiny Happy People. And also because recently in the news, there was this crazy story about Andy Kaufman might actually be alive and had faked his death, or that whole thing is a whole Andy Kaufman prank. Either way, it's some crazy stuff, but I thought it would be a good time to watch and revisit Man on the Moon. Man on the Moon. Yeah. Have you seen that one?
No.
You haven't seen Man on the Moon?
I have.
You have? Okay. I knew at least one of you would have seen this one. So Man on the Moon. We'll check that out next week. Thanks for watching, and you can continue listening to the podcast.
The inevitable long extended version of this.
We're gonna get deep into the fear and love of Donnie Darko after this. Thanks for watching.